How are you guys handling cuts, Robert? Have you started yet, or will you wait till Tuesday morning?
Joe and I are going through, and he's been talking with our staff, talking with his staff, and so he's going through the process. Whether or not anything is done is going to be up to him.
When you get to today, is everything on to Carolina now?
For us, yeah. We put the preseason game to bed this morning. We'll have a good practice of just ones and ones, our offense versus our defense, and then from there, coach's attention is all on Carolina.
Did you get a chuckle at all when the random NFL schedule gave you Sam Darnold and the Panthers week 1?
You know, the NFL does have a sense of humor, but we're going to eventually have to play him anyway, so it didn't. In the long run, it didn't matter.
With Carl's injury, does that change anything? I know you're 4-3, but does that change how you approach trying to stop teams?
It's going to go. It's game to game. Whether Carl was there or not, every game is going to present a different opportunity to attack the protections that are presented to us. Having him there obviously makes it much easier, but we got to find other ways to do it.
How does preparation change now that you're, heading into the regular season? As far as in general with the team, is it more now game plan specific you start up, or is it because in training camp there's a lot of general?
Yeah, it's after tomorrow, every practice will be geared towards whoever it is we're playing. So the next time, we have the off day on Tuesday, and then which is also the cut down day. And when we get back together on those, every day from there on out, we'll be focused on the opponent.
How much of a balance is, when it comes to game plan for Carolina, will it be what you saw in preseason from Carolina, based off what they did with Teddy Bridgewater last year, and then how much will you be even watch some of the film from Sam Darnold last year?
It's a little bit of everything. There's stuff that we put on tape that exposes us as a defense. There's the play caller, there's Carolina, there's a lot of different things. So we just, the first game is always a crapshoot, but you do the best you can to show guys what may or may not happen, and from there it's a lot of rules ball, to be honest with you.
Does it help that you have internal film of Sam Darnold?
Well, it's good to have the internal part just to know him as a quarterback, and but he's going into a completely different scheme with completely different rules with different personnel. So it's going to be everyone's going to see a much different Sam Darnold.
Robert, how important is CJ? I mean, I know CJ was always important, but Carl, and you got two rookies next to him. How important is he now in this defense?
He's him, Marcus. I mean, they're all the veterans. They're very, very important just from a communication standpoint. We're, like I've said, I think we're with those two rookie linebackers and Michael Carter's going to get a lot of play at nickel. There's a lot of communication needed, and especially at those spots, because there's a lot of communication that's needed already, and to have CJ is a very big deal.
Have you made a decision on right tackle? If so, who are you going with to start?
We're still working through it.
For you, now that you're through training camp, is there a little bit more, I don't know, excitement or something, because now you're gearing up for the real deal?
You know what? Cliche, but I've been taking all this in, so it's all of it's been exciting. Obviously, the games are the games, but and it's for real now, or whatever you want to call it. But everything's had meaning though. It doesn't change the meaning. Maybe the game didn't count, but it mattered, and with preseason, and so every single day matters, and all of it's exciting, and it's obviously we're going to be a little bit more amped up for week 1, but it doesn't change how much it matters.
Did that change for you quickly? Where remember you telling us how you said first practice you were standing outside waiting for the head coach. Did it change for you quickly that this is it, this is me, and this is the way it's going to be?
I think so. I feel like we're over OTAs and training camp as a staff. We're young staff too, so we've been able to get into a little bit of a rhythm. And there's, I'm anticipating a lot of learning moments throughout this entire season. There's going to be, we still haven't we've gotten some great opportunities with regards to game management and reviews and timeouts and all that stuff. And the difficulty level is only going to amplify once the regular season hits. And so there's still going to be many more learning opportunities coming. So,
What's been the biggest thing you've learned through the training camp
for me,
as head coach?
There's a lot of personalities, and just having to deal with all of them. But again, we've got a tremendous staff, and trusting them to do their jobs. But overall, just the amount of different things from personalities and management that has nothing to do with tape is probably the biggest thing I've learned.
We talked to you a couple of weeks ago, and you said about which meeting room you're in the most. Are you more in defense? Has anything changed from that standpoint?
No, I'm. Today I spent time in the offensive room. I got a little convenient deal where I can watch them all from my office. So I don't want people to coach differently just because I'm in there. So I get an opportunity to watch anybody I want. So today I spent a little bit more time with the offense. But as game planning goes, obviously I'm going to lean towards doing my best to help the defense get ready.
This will be your first time with a head coach's say in the final roster. And do you feel like these guys have given you a lot of close calls? Do you feel like you know who your 53 are, or do you feel like there's a lot of spots where it's pretty close?
There's a lot of spots that are close, and I know Joe is grinding his butt off to try to find the fine line that determines which ones make it and which ones don't. And as we go through this, these are the hardest parts. The whole hardest part of camp, because these guys have put everything on the line, and you just want them to be successful. So there's a lot of discussions to be made between now and tomorrow.
Potentially, how much of an advantage is it of being so early in the waiver claim order?
It's like a second draft, right? But it's still a hard thing to do, to be able to just claim somebody off another person's roster because of the amount of work that you put in with your guys. So more often than not, you trust the work that you've put in with your guys, and you want to see them evolve, and especially with the investment that you've already made. So the wire is a great, it's a great game to play, but it's a lot harder than people realize with regards to claiming people and letting go of somebody that you've invested so much in.
What are some of the deciding factors you look for when there are those two players that are pretty neck and neck?
It's just the overall body of work, and it could be anything. It could be, do you want to go the younger guy? Do you want to stay with a veteran? Do you want to, the character aspect of it? There's so many different variables that go into each scenario. To pinpoint it to one or two would be a disservice.
You mentioned Carter at nickel before. How much have you liked his growth? We know he could find the ball collegiately. He seems to be a very physical presence in that position.
Michael and Goodry, both of them. Like I said it after the game, we've got two legitimate starting nickels, and we've got to find a way to get them both on the football field. But Michael's done a great job since he's walked in here. He's been when did we get him? 5th round, I believe it was. But you can't ask for much more out of a 5th round guy. He's gonna have a long life in the NFL for sure.
What's next for Zach? Now to.
So you got to keep progressing. It's the same thing. Nothing changes in terms of, just like I mentioned from a coaching staff standpoint, he's going to learn so much as the year goes on. Every game is going to present a different challenge. He's going to get different looks. They're not going to be as vanilla. He's going to see more speed on the field with regards to the defense. He's going to see every week just being a different scheme, and so there's so many different things that are going to happen for him over the course of the year, and he's just got to find ways to absorb the information, find ways to get better, take care of the football, and do his best to put us in position to win football games.
What about the extra week? We normally have a 4th preseason game, but it's an extra week of just 53 guys instead of an extra week of 80 guys. Does that change anything, that it's 2 weeks to prepare with just 53?
It gets you to the week 1 opponent a little bit, a couple days faster than you normally would. It's about it.
Just wanted to see some injury updates on Pirine, Eccles, Mims, Joyner, if you have anything.
Yeah, Eccles is good to go. I believe he'll be out there today. Pirine is still day-to-day. Mims is still day-to-day. Not worried about them for week 1. And then Michael Carter, you said? Joyner. I'm sorry. Joyner will be ready for week 1. Yeah, they're all banged up, but he'll be ready. They'll all be good.
Is there any concern about week 1?
We're not concerned about his week 1 availability. So for the most part, everyone who's been banged up, we're very, very optimistic about week 1.
Real quick, to go back to Al's question when he asked about like the meetings. You said like you can look at the other rooms from your office.
Yeah.
Is that something
I
different?
learned that from Papa Shanahan and Kyle. It's not necessarily to spy, but it's more of an opportunity to just go in there and just watch and just stay connected and without having, because what you find is when and talking to Papa and Kyle, when head coach is present in the room, coaches tend to coach differently because of, they're trying not to show up guys and embarrass guys in front of the head coach. But at the same time, you have those opportunities to record meetings. So when you do get people in the building, new players, they have a chance to go watch installs. So not all meetings are recorded, but the install ones, just so the players can look back and they can get caught up. So there's a process behind it, and I took a liking to it, and so I got to credit those 2 men. So thank you.